Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you why it's, very clearly in my estimation, not a pipe dream to believe that you actually can achieve life-changing wealth by holding XRP specifically. Now, of course, there are actually lots of reasons, but I'm going to hone into a very specific area of conversation for the purposes of this video. But look, the opportunity is there for me as well as all of you listening. You know, just having that opportunity, it's so empowering. And even though I understand most people that jump into crypto, they're not going to achieve life-changing wealth. And there are lots of reasons for that. Some people are not sufficiently willing to take on risk, do enough research to become comfortable. And even if you do, are you going to be your own worst enemy when it comes to, enduring volatility? But still, just knowing we have this possibility, to me, it's so incredibly empowering. And it can be genuinely life-changing for regular people like you and me. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say are right. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so as I was scrolling through my feed on social media platform X, I came across this post from somebody named Zoom, who I'm not familiar with, not that it particularly matters, but clearly somebody in the XRP community. And if you can look at your screen, it is worth doing so if you're not currently. For those of you that can't, I'll do my best to describe what is on the screen, the visual here. But he wrote the following: "This is the amount of people who own XRP, and some think they, in quotes, won't let us get rich. They don't care." My God, that is spot on. They don't care. Whoever they is to you. And I rarely see this from people in our community. Much more frequently, I see they, whoever people think they are, want you to and won't let you get rich if they can stop you. And so I guess it's the shadowy elite, right? All of the wealthy and the bankers and, the lizard people, whatever the hell it may be, that the conspiracy-minded folk think are actually engaged in. Like, it's always been silly to me. That's not the case. I'm telling you, let me tell you this. It is not the case that those people that you think, if you're one of those people that thinks that there's somebody trying to stop you, it is not the case that they care. It's the case that they care that they are doing well. And as long as they're doing well, they're not going to actively try to make it. No, that's not how this game works, folks. In fact, I would go so far as to state that they understand that, especially in the early years, which I'd argue we're still in. Crypto's only been around for 15 years. It's the youngest asset class out there. Hasn't been a new asset class before this in hundreds of years, literally. So I would argue that they understand and don't give a damn if you achieve life-changing wealth investing in crypto. And I don't think they give a damn about all the people that are filthy rich because they bought Bitcoin in 2011 and wrote it much, much higher in price than where they bought it. They, whoever they is to you, you conspiracy-minded folks, you know who you are. I'm telling you, they don't give a damn. So first, get that out of your mind. Nobody's trying to stop you. The opportunity is real. And I wanted to highlight a very crucial reason, a very real reason as to why you actually very genuinely do have an opportunity to achieve life-changing wealth. You can say broadly in crypto, for sure. I have broad exposure myself. But specifically with the XRP, that's what I want to talk about in this video. And so there's this chart here and a bunch of dots representing, the entirety of the human race. And so there's over 8 billion humans on the planet at this point, best numbers I've seen here. And so they've highlighted 5 different categories. And they're color coding them, basically. So you can kind of visualize how many people are in crypto, holding XRP, so on and so forth. The first category is the number of people who have heard of crypto against this black sea of black dots being the entire human species. And then in blue would be those people who have heard of crypto, so almost nobody. You can see it in the top right. Green marks would be people who own crypto, so smaller yet. Then you can see in yellow there'd be people who have heard of XRP, almost nobody. and I guess it'd be like a reddish color here, people who own XRP. And in pink would be people who own 25,000 or greater XRP, which is almost 0% of the population. And so I would say the idea behind this graphic rings true to me. The proportionality is unquestionably off, so I do want to acknowledge that, but it doesn't matter. Like, the idea behind it is true, and like even the visualization, it's not that off, depending on which one of these metrics you're talking about. Let me explain here. So I was trying to get some more recent numbers as far as what percentage of humans are in the world of crypto. So I found a couple sources. This is security.org, and they highlighted, and this is from, I think, last updated June 10th, that there are 93 million people, or they wrote there could be as many as 93 million people in America. Here, let's read the whole sentence so I don't botch this. Cryptocurrency awareness and ownership rates have increased to record levels. 40% of American adults now own crypto, up from 30% in 2023. This could be as many as 93 million people. And so that's just in the United States. But what about on a global scale? How many people own crypto? This is the latest number I've found, and it's the best I have to work with. So we'll just go with the assumption that this is hopefully more or less correct. If anybody has a better source, you let me know, but this is close to what I was expecting to see. This comes from AAA. Global crypto ownership reaches 562 million people in 2024, new report. So if you go back to this chart that was shared by XRP community member Zoom, and now we know 562 million people hold crypto. That's about 7% of humans on the planet. So you're super early. You are super, super, super early. And we'll talk about XRP in a second. Got to do this in order. But check this out. So you might be wondering, okay, so what would this more real, if it were properly colored to represent that 7% of humans, own Bitcoin? What would that, or crypto, just broadly speaking, not just heard of it, but own it? If you're having trouble visualizing what 7% would look like, let's break it down. You can kind of visualize in your mind, right, what 1/5 of these dots looks like, right? So for those of you looking at my screen, I'll just kind of eyeball it here. I'm going left and right on the screen. Basically, I would eyeball probably about here, and everything up would be about 1/5. And so then if you're going to try and figure out what 7%, it would be slightly over a quarter of that top portion that I just highlighted. So maybe you're talking about this right here. So, it's a very small percentage. Most people own exactly nothing. You are light years ahead of people. You are super early to the party. There are all sorts of people that don't even think that this asset class is going to exist if they've even heard of it at this point. But what about XRP here? Now this is where it gets super interesting. So because it really is the case that almost no humans know what XRP is, and way fewer hold XRP, and way fewer still have an amount that would result in life-changing wealth. But I'm willing to bet, given that I'm running a crypto channel, which is an XRP-centric YouTube channel, I'm willing to bet that there's a rather large sample of people listening right now who are, right now, in 2024, before the bull run starts, I'm willing to bet that, like a large sample right now of you listening, are some of the largest XRP holders in existence out there. And I can say that with a fair amount of confidence, given that, well, obviously the nature of my channel, people like me that are interested in XRP, this is a good place to go to if you want to have some fun conversations about XRP and all that jazz. But it's not just that. It's just like the quantity that you need to have to be a top holder in the world. It's not that much now, but that's why I started the video saying what I'm saying. It's not a pipe dream because to believe that XRP can result in life-changing wealth, because there's almost no money in XRP. Meaning, if we are correct, and XRP is going to go to the moon, okay? It's going to hit a new all-time high, price discovery, face melt, all that jazz. If it does it just one more time, and we are right, that's all that it will take. And so let me break this down for you, the degree to which this is true, because it's kind of mind-blowing, to be honest with you. So I jotted some stuff down before recording this video, crunched some very simple numbers here. So how many people hold XRP? Well, we don't know for sure, and there's actually no way for us to know. So we do know that there are over 5.2 million wallets. I'm on the XRP Rich List website right now, so you can see it's just pulling this data live. Updates every 12 hours anyway. So it's pretty accurate, right? It's just pulling it from the ledger. It's a public blockchain. We know for sure that data is actually accurate. But there are a couple reasons, actually, that the true number of XRP holders could be higher or lower than that. So it is the case that many of you listening, and this is true for me as well, have multiple XRP accounts for various reasons, right? And so if that's the case, you might think, oh, well, there's only 5.2 million accounts, and a lot of those are going to be owned by multiple people. So there's probably far fewer than 5.2 million people holding XRP, right? I can't say for sure, I admit that, but I'm not so confident. If anything, I'd go the other direction, with the reason being, I don't think that most people have what they subjectively would deem to be a substantial amount of crypto, broadly speaking, whether it's Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, you name it. I think most people that are in it, they put in a little bit. Good on them for expanding into a new asset class, but I don't think most people are willing to bet the farm on crypto, or to learn enough to feel comfortable enough to put something meaningful in, to the degree that they feel like they need to safeguard with self-custody. So I just think that, and it's just a hunch, I admit that, but I think most people, including XRP holders, because most people, again, are smaller holders, the math just works out that way with any coin. I have a strong hunch that most people are buying XRP on exchange and they're just leaving it there because it's not a life-changing amount of wealth. If it were, they'd be more inclined to secure it. So just a hunch, but if that's the case, then there could be way more than 5 million XRP holders. So the truth is we don't know, but that's why we don't know. So it could be more or less than that, but since we don't know, let's just go with the number of wallets. Let's just, maybe we're splitting hairs here anyway, I don't know, but let's just make an assumption. It's not that I'm saying it's true, but just so we can run some numbers here. Let's just say that the number of people that the number of people that hold XRP is equivalent to the number of XRP wallets in existence. So roughly 5.2 million humans out there. So consider this: if that is true, and if you're going to have your own opinion whether you think that number is a little high or a little low, and that's fine, but it'll help you wrap your head around where you might be in terms of percentage of people on the planet holding XRP, and it's almost no one. And this is why I was saying, if we are right, we're going to make a fortune. And if we're wrong, fine, it could go to zero, and then we're all going to be a bunch of sad pandas, and we can cry ourselves to sleep, and maybe we do lose everything. Investing is risky, but I have confidence for a ton of reasons. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm not going to get into a bunch of reasons why I have such strong conviction. I've been doing that for, the whole time I've been in crypto and running this YouTube channel. So there's no shortage of videos on that topic. But if 5.2 million people own XRP, that would be only 0.065% of all humans. That would be 0.065% of humans own XRP if 5.2 million humans own XRP. I think, well, okay, almost at 0.1%. It's getting up there. It's almost nothing, right? It's still almost nothing. But as incredible as that is, it doesn't paint the picture of the degree to which money will be pouring to you if you hold even just a bit more than the typical XRP holder. Check this out. And this is here, actually, I pulled data from here. This is where this is from the XRP rich list. So check this out. There are, I'll use round numbers for the purposes of this video. The real numbers are exactly on the screen. This is where I got it from. There are 4.18 million XRP accounts out of the 5.2 million total. There are 4.18 million, roughly, that have 500 or less XRP. You heard that correct. That means you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% of all accounts, XRP accounts, have less than 500 XRP. So if you're interested enough in XRP that you're following my YouTube channel, I'm willing to bet that almost all of you have a good bit more than that, whatever that is to you. Nothing against it. This isn't some sort of shame thing. Oh, you only have less than 500. No. I'm just talking about data. I would never belittle somebody for trying to, better their financial position. I don't want anybody to twist it. Just the only reason I'm saying that. Of course not. But yeah, it's about 80% of all accounts have less than 500 XRP. You might as well round down to zero. That's how little it is. Now, so check this out. Only roughly, and I'm using round numbers here. The real numbers are exactly on your screen if you want to add it up yourself. But roughly 1 million XRP accounts have at least 500 XRP. Now think about that. This means that only point 0.0, is it 00? Maybe I'll just, actually, you know what? I'm going to make sure I plug this in the calculator correct. So what did I say? 1 million. Okay, and then I'm going to divide by 8 billion. I have to hold my phone sideways so that I can get the extra zero in the scientific mode. There we go. That's annoying. So 1 million divided by 8 billion. Oh, it wasn't clear. Sorry, folks. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right since 1 million divided by 8 billion. Okay, times 100. Okay, yeah, so it is 0.0125. 0.0125%. That's incredibly low. Thanks for hanging with me while I was double checking that. I second guessed myself for a second, but that's correct. So only 0.0125% of humans on the planet have 500 or more XRP. Do you guys now see why I'm saying if you have, like, you don't have to have a crazy amount of XRP to be in the top 10% of holders? You only need 3,000. You're way ahead of almost every human if you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need that much. It's insane the degree to which this is true. But it gets even better, because I know a lot of you listening have a lot more than that. So consider this. Because, again, in other words, basically no one has any sort of meaningful amount of XRP. So check this out. Only about, and again, I just use round numbers, so this is about right. Only about 275,000 XRP accounts out of the, again, over 5.2 million accounts, only 275,000 of them, roughly, hold 10,000 or more XRP. That means only about 0.003% of humans have 10,000 or more XRP. Are you starting to see why I said what I said at the outset of the video? There's almost no one here. Even if there are millions of us, literally, even if that's the case, there are 8 billion humans. There's almost no one here. And the crypto pie keeps getting bigger. And XRP continues to be adopted. And metrics keep getting better. Developers keep building stuff. You see where this is going, right? This is the reason, and I know that the people not in crypto are like, well, if people are getting rich that quick, it just sounds like a scam. That's because you don't know what you're talking about. The reason is there's almost no money. We are early. That is the reason. It's like if you had invested in Apple, before they took off a couple decades ago. Like, it's that same thing. It's because almost nobody had money in Apple at the time. It's the same thing here. It's not scammy. It's just there's not much money here. If we're right, we get rewarded. And if we're wrong, then fine. Maybe we lose everything. That's possible. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. I have the highest conviction I've ever had that we will hit a new all-time high, though. This is it. And again, like I said, it's so empowering for the everyday person. People like you and me. We actually can do this, and if we have the conviction, and if we're right, and if we see this through, and if we put in enough, just be really patient, it actually can happen. It's the coolest damn thing in the world. How powerful is that? And that's why, as an aside, and I won't go off too much of a rant on this, as an aside, that's why I'm so disgusted by those in Congress who want to shut it down. All this opportunity, the Elizabeth Warrens out there, which is why I'm so glad that Deaton's running against her, and he's going to beat her. It's just, they don't have your answer. If there's a they that's trying to stop you, that would be it. But that's for different reasons. It's not like they're trying to just specifically squash your XRP or whatever. Or there's something shadowy about it. There are control freaks in Congress. There just are. There's a lot of egomaniacs, and sociopaths probably. So, I think it's more so that, frankly, and it's just they want control. But they're going to lose. Crypto's here to stay. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. We're a serious voter block at this point. And so we do have our opportunity. And again, I know most people aren't going to get rich because there's like an infinite number of ways to screw this up. Even if we're right, we could still screw this up and get hacked. You could be robbed, There's just tons of stuff. And especially if you're keeping all of it on an exchange and then they get hacked. What if they're down for a prolonged period of time during a crucial moment when you really need to buy or sell or whatever? That stuff happens, But the opportunity is there. So I just thought I'd highlight that. I don't know how many people out there realize, like, even if you think there's 5.2 million XRP holders, maybe it's less, maybe it's more. You can debate that. That's a fun conversation. Even if that's the case, about 80% of them aren't even expecting clearly for it to be life-changing wealth. Like, do you really think that those people who have like 50, 100, 200 XRP, do you think that they genuinely believe that that's going to be life-changing for them? They probably just have put in little bits, and maybe it's just one of the coins they have. Maybe they're way more into Bitcoin or Ether, WIF, because reasons, you know? It could be anything. Maybe they really love that Doge because, you know, it's dog has coin, you know what I'm saying? It could be whatever. So again, I don't say that to belittle anybody. I'm just saying, like, it's not going to be life-changing for them. They probably know that. But what do you have? No, I don't answer that. Don't tell people publicly what you have. But I say that rhetorically. I'm willing to bet for the vast majority of you listening, because this is an XRP-centric YouTube channel, I'm willing to bet you have way more than some of those numbers that I was just talking about. And you can see the brackets up here. I mean, to be in the top 5% of holders, you need just over 10,000 XRP. And that's one of the categories I just cited here. Only 0.0125% of humans in existence meet that criteria. Are you one of them? See, this is why investing in XRP now is similar to investing in Bitcoin in an earlier cycle. Maybe not the same as investing in Bitcoin back in, say, 2010. Okay. But at some point after that, it'd be fun to actually do an apples-to-apples comparison to figure, because there's a point where whatever multiplier effect XRP will get this market cycle, it'll be fun to see where it ends at. We'll be able to look back on a previous cycle and see, Bitcoin did about that multiplier back then. But there's so much money in Bitcoin now, you're just not going to get that multiplier effect, certainly not in one cycle with Bitcoin. I mean, it did close to a 5x from its cycle low in November 2022. And I mean, from there, what, like, is it gonna 10x? Is it 15? Because if you're talking about XRP, like, even a tenfold increase, you're talking less than $5. So, like, it's so much easier for XRP to go on an insane rally. That's why, for me, it is the sweet spot where it's tried, true, it's tested, it's been around for over a decade. You know it's not a scam. You know that it's unlikely to be hacked because people have been trying to do that literally for over a decade. You know utilities going the right way. And it's a large cap. But even large caps, most of them, don't have that much money. So for me, it's the sweet spot. You don't have to go that far out the risk curve to get this crazy multiplier effect. But come back and talk to me in like 10 or 15 years. I don't think I'll likely be saying this about XRP because it will have way too much money invested in it by then. And for each market cycle it goes through, the multiplier effect way in the future, it's going to be much less than what it is at this point. It happened with Bitcoin, ETH, XRP. That's just how it works. It's what happens when you're working with larger numbers. But it's the coolest damn thing to know that in 2024, we really do have this opportunity. And if XRP were going to be killed by anything, it would have been the SEC. If something was going to kill it, that would have been it, and it didn't. And it stayed in the top 10 coins by market cap. And you can say, yeah, it's been 6.5 years since a freaking all-time high. What gives? Okay, well, keep in mind that we only have had a crack at this historically every 4 years, roughly. You get a cycle every 4 years, and we missed the last one. So since we missed the last one, you knew at that point, right, that we would have to wait multiple years, because XRP doesn't just run on its own to new highs. It never has. When there's expansion in the crypto markets, that's when it goes. So the fact that we are sitting here 6.5 waiters, given full context and knowing all of the information that we know, including the SEC attack, it makes sense that XRP is where it is. And it's absolutely been artificially suppressed in terms of price. But for a lot of you listening, I know, despite that being a terrible thing and harming people, many people, including a lot of you listening, took advantage of that and accumulated more than you otherwise would have been able to. So for some, it's an opportunity. I'm very excited to see what happens. I do not believe this market's over. I think that we're just, it's been consolidation for several months. There's been a pullback. At some point, it's going to continue to run higher. And even if it is over, because I admit that's a possibility, fine. I will be more patient than anyone else. I'll be here in 3 or 4 years when markets come back, and we'll do it then. If that's what it takes. But the crypto pie is going to keep getting bigger. We're just early. And there are a lot of people that, same if you're investing in a company. Like if you're investing in Tesla, like there are Tesla communities, and there have been for over a decade. And people are laughing at them for years on end. It's never going to, but then it did, right? And I know that's a company. We're talking about a cryptocurrency here, but I'm just trying to highlight these things happen. Happened with Bitcoin. ETH went crazy last cycle, didn't it? I mean, I saw ETH at $88 and I saw it at $4,800 while I've been in crypto. To think that it doesn't apply to XRP, you out your damn mind. XRP is going to go like crazy. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.